Good day, creative friends. I hope you're doing well. It's been a while again. I know some of you are curious as to why I'm not uploading on a regular basis, or am I okay? Have I stopped making videos altogether? There's no short answers to these questions. No, I haven't given up on YouTube, although if I'm being very honest, I have to say that the process of making a video now is quite tedious. I find more and more. I've made thousands of videos over the years here on my channel, and also for a third party for a few years. And now it's become so much more complex, especially with the subtitles and the other languages and whatnot. There's lots to do in post-production. It's become sophisticated. So there's that. And the one other thing also that I struggle with, and you probably have noticed right now, is the voiceover. I'm always wondering, should I talk about something, or should I just stick with the explanations of the piece? And quite honestly, if I'm working intuitively, it's very difficult to guide you as to why I'm doing such a thing or how to do what I'm doing, because it's totally intuitive. So these are just some of my struggles. The fact that I've been away for a while is not due to a lack of activity, because I have been creative every single day. I do still present stuff on my Patreon account, maybe not as often as I wish I did, but I have to be honest, I am struggling creatively. The stuff that is interesting to me is working on longer pieces, and requires a lot of detail, requires a lot of, it's time consuming, and so it makes it very difficult for filming, and it's not the kind of stuff that people are generally interested in. So there's that bit of that frustration, although I do love what I present on YouTube generally, like the watercolor and the doodles, of course. But it's such a different approach. And when you're not in the correct mindset, you could spin your wheels round and round before something gets produced and you're happy with. The piece that I'm doing right now, I have to say, I almost abandoned it at that point, especially when I put down that black right there. And then at some point, I don't know what happened, I just decided to go for it. And that is after I have tried several times during the day. So, will I keep uploading on a regular basis? I don't know how to answer to that right now. I hope this is not too disappointing. I am not apologizing for that. I don't think I should. I do what I can. Right now, I do what I can to do what's right for my well-being, and it's very challenging. And just like everybody else, we're going through tough times, some more than others, or through tougher situations than others around the world. So I don't want to complain too much, but these past 2 years have been quite challenging for most of us. And so everything is kind of compounded, and you're trying to keep your spirits up throughout that, and you're trying to keep your creativity and you know, you just add the everyday life and stuff that comes around, and it just, yeah, I don't know. As you can tell, I am struggling. I'm trying to find the right words to communicate what I want to say, but I don't want to sound negative, because that's not my angle. It's not the message I want to convey. I'm always quite hopeful, and I know that things will get better for me and for the rest of the world. But right now, I'm not there yet. And so I'm working my way through this. And there are some things that I'm not willing to share just because they're personal. And I really don't want to share that publicly. So that's where we're at. But now that I'm looking at this gold paint, that brings me quite a bit of joy. Gold never fails me. Right now I'm going over, make sure that I touch that red color with the gold, because when I was working on another piece earlier this week, I ran these two colors together at some point, and the color that was created with the combination of those two was exquisite. It was, as they say, a chef's kiss. It was so beautiful. But it didn't work this time around, so I'll make sure to do another painting with the same colors so that you can see next time. But it was just yummy. I like the color combination that I chose, and if you're interested in knowing the colors that I used, I will put them in the description as well as in a pinned comment, so you can refer to that list if you are wanting more info. I'm also working on BeePaper. It's 140-pound cold pressed watercolor paper. I had to go over that red blob, which I now see it as being a red sun. It's kind of funny though, because when I'm looking at the final piece, although it was uncomfortable to paint, and I almost abandoned it because I don't consider this painting to be something that particularly interests me, honestly. It sounds bad to say because I am presenting it to you, but you know, it just illustrates how I am or how I feel right now. Eventually I started seeing kind of like a mountainscape at the bottom, the black, and the big red blob up there was kind of like a red sun. So in essence, you could say that it does represent what's going on in my head. a bit of darkness, a bit of confusion. It sounds dramatic. It's not. I promise you, it's not dramatic. Boy. But and that ring of gold could represent the hope. It's funny though, because that is not what I set out to do. Like I said, this is totally spontaneous. So it's a good exercise to do though. Sometimes sticking to a painting you're not particularly enjoying. Honestly, up until that part where I started adding the gold, I was not enjoying the process. Here, I said it, because I'm all about enjoying the process, and that's probably why I wanted to abandon it. But there's some kind of a threshold, and by passing that threshold, I kind of jumped to the other side where I was able to enjoy myself more. And this is when I started making up a story in my head. So the mountains, the black mountains, the red sun, a little bit of red here and there, you know, blood, sweat, and tears kind of thing. And the little circles and dots that I will be adding later are probably scattered ideas, scattered creative ideas that are not yet making any sense, but one day they will. That's my interpretation of the piece after I've done it. But also during the process, during that second part of the process, I had some visualization, so it does help. So maybe I ought to give my other paintings that I did during these past few months another chance. Maybe I should revisit them. Although, like I said, most of the stuff was done in my sketchbook. I've also worked on longer pieces, so those are done. I've also started working on finally gathering all those recycled or failed attempts and bits and pieces of paper that I've been collecting over the years that have some kind of color on them, and I'm adding more color on top of them. More color, some mark makings. I even added some acrylic ink on top. I still don't know what I'm going to be doing with them, but they're ready to be either torn or collaged, turned into whatever. So I do that also when, I was going to say in my spare time, but I really don't. When I don't want to put any effort into creating a painting of some sort. It's a fun activity to do. It's kind of like playtime. You don't have to think too much. Okay, I think it's about time I wrap this up. It's been a strange voiceover. So I hope that the video has given you some interesting visuals to look at. And as always, if you want to watch more videos or support my artistic journey, you can always find me on Patreon. I will also leave the link below. Very briefly about Patreon. If you are thinking of joining, I would suggest that you join at the beginning of a month as opposed to at the end of a month, because you will be charged when you join, and then you will be charged on the first of every subsequent months until you decide that you no longer want to be a part of that. So let's say you join on the 28th or the 27th of February, you will be charged on that day, and also on the 1st of March, and then on the 1st of April, and so on and so forth. So my suggestion is that you wait until, the first few days of a month. That way it won't seem like double charges, although it's not really, because when you join, you have access to videos as far back as November 2015. So there's lots to look at. All right, I've done my shameless plug. So now it's time to say goodbye. I hope you're doing well, by the way. Tell me how you are doing. I'm interested to know. I can't be the only person who is a bit lost at the moment. I hope that you are keeping creative and healthy. And thanks so much for watching, and I will see you soon.